Hello, this is Brenda Boyne, and this is once again Brenda Boyne. Check this out. Today we're doing a very serious video. Why am I dressed like this for a very serious video? Because that's what you wanted, and I care about what you care about. Okay? So we're going to talk about suicide. First, let me give you my personal opinions on suicide. First of all, I feel that if you wish to commit suicide, nobody should be able to stop you. However, I personally am against suicide. I think that God put us here so that we could know what it's like to experience trying to change things, trying to make things. Though we aren't as perfect as He is, the things don't come out as well, but I think He wants company. I think He wants somebody else who knows what it's like to make things and to create things and stuff. And so I basically feel everybody's got to finish their turn. However, if you want to kill yourself, I believe you should be able to. However, I do not believe doctors should in any way be involved. Doctors should be saving your life, both from a personal standpoint and from an insurance standpoint. Let's talk for a minute about how HMOs work. This is how an HMO works. They have a number. You're registered with your doctor. Your doctor gets a certain amount of money every year for you, and he's in a corporation with some other doctors, and so they all put the money into a bank account and they use it for your health care. So say you need more money than is the amount they give you, they have to take that out of their pockets. Maybe they would take it out of their own pockets, but they're not going to ask the other people in the corporation to take it out of their pockets. Okay? So when you hit a certain level, as my husband's doctor said to him, well, when you hit a certain level of medical payment, these things kick in automatically. And they tried to put him in a nursing home where I would only have been, it was like 2 counties away from where I live. And where they said they would barely let me see him unless I was really, really good. And then maybe I could see him like twice a week. Okay, and he was much older than I am. So it would take a long time before I could even hope to be put in the same nursing home. Okay, so that's how they work. And that's how they get people to want you to be dead. Okay, and so forth. But even say you have a legitimate, I do not agree with it, but say that you believe you have a legitimate desire to commit suicide, doctors should not be involved. It would be very easy to train some techs with a 6-month course or a 9-month course on how to administer the drugs to you and keep doctors completely out of the picture. And that's what I believe should happen. There is actually a society that will help you kill yourself that predates, I don't know if you know, but in America until I think it was the late 1970s, might have been the late 1980s, it was actually illegal to kill yourself. So you try to kill yourself and you fail to kill yourself. A lot of times you'd wind up in a mental hospital, so that'd be okay. But if you fail to kill yourself, you'd wind up in jail for having tried to kill yourself. Okay? So there was a society who I will not name because I'm not going to help anyone kill themselves, who actually does tell you what kind of medication to use, tell you what procedure you use, and that's what there should be if people want to kill themselves. Now we're going to talk about incontinence. This whole video was inspired by Dr. Gevorkian. Do you remember the doctor of death who was in prison for helping people commit medical suicide in states where it wasn't legal and actually died in prison? Well, he had a patient, and she said, well, I was going to kill myself if the pain became unbearable. Which, by the way, I've heard doctors say if pain's unbearable, that's because your doctor hasn't given you enough pain medication. But regardless, she said if the pain becomes unbearable, so you're talking about just excruciating pain that you just can't live with, or if I became incontinent. We were all incontinent once. When we were born, before we were toilet trained, we were all incontinent. If you're a person whose value is so small to your family that your incontinence means that you should die, then, maybe you should not worry about being incontinent, or you should not worry about suicide. You should worry about being a better person. Okay. However, you're going to be embarrassed. You're going to be humiliated. You're going to be super, super embarrassed. Okay. Why? Not because it's the right thing to feel, but because your body is causing you to feel that, so that we'll put our bathrooms far enough away from our living settlements that we don't die. That humiliation is a psychological thing that is saving your life, that is saving your children's life, that is saving your grandchildren's life, it's saving your spouse's life, it's saving your parents' life. Okay? And we need to be mature enough to go, I need to override that. Yes, it was really humiliating. I didn't realize how humiliating it was going to be. I'm super, super embarrassed, but I know that this is saving my family's life and it's saving my life. Okay? And I'm going to override it. You know why? Because if you don't override it, if you don't care about yourself, what about your children? What about your grandchildren? Do you want them to have to kill themselves because they went potty on themselves instead of going out and buying an adult diaper? Okay, so that's it. That's what I have to say. This is Brenda Boy, and check this out. Hi, everybody.